Hey everyone, I'm Randy Unger, and this is a very special edition of Unger the Radar. And with me again is film critic Chris Clemente. Hey Chris.
Hey Randy, thanks for having me.
Anytime, thanks for making the time.
Yeah.
So today we are going to talk about our favorite films of 2016, top 10 favorite films, top 10 films that are on our shame list, movies that we sadly could not make it out to see.
Yeah, and we do that just to put it out there so that no one can shame us and saying, hey, you haven't seen this awesome film in 2016. How dare you not put it on our list? But to our defense, we haven't watched it, so we can't do anything about it. So, Randy, what's your films on your shame list?
On my shame list.
Yep.
So, this is a movie that everyone on planet Earth has seen except me, and it's a huge blockbuster that, people young and old will appreciate, and I sadly did not make it into the cinema to see, and I hold my head down in shame. And it is the third Captain America film, Civil War.
Okay.
Please,
okay.
be kind.
No. I think that's quite all right. I mean, I've seen it, and I don't think you have anything to worry about. I don't think it. No one will hold it up against you that it's not on your shame list.
Okay.
That it is on your shame list.
All
I
right.
should say, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. For me, okay, you are definitely gonna get down on me for this. Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry. It's critically acclaimed.
That's my number two on my favorite movies.
No. And
okay, no,
sadly,
actually number three, I should say. But still, an
Yeah.
incredible film.
It is, yeah, and I'm sure it is. And sadly enough, I just was not able to see it. So please, please, I spare you the mercy. Do not hold it against me when I say my list.
Well, Mel Gibson might go after you. I don't know.
Yeah, he might. He might. Over the course of the years, he's gone after quite a few number of people.
Indeed,
so.
a few groups out there.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Mel Gibson aside, it's an amazing war film, and probably the best, in my opinion, the best war film since Saving Private Ryan.
Wow, and you're not the first person who said that to me, and I look forward to it immensely.
Nice.
Anything else on your shameless?
Well, why don't? Okay, so that was yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a few more, but I really
don't.
don't.
Just rattle them off.
I don't want to say them because they're all considered great movies.
You have to because people are gonna be questioning our authenticity.
Right. So we're just so everyone knows. We are aware that these are movies that are amazing and we haven't seen.
Right.
Just we know that they're great.
Captain America: Civil War.
Yes, exactly. Right? But this is a lot different than Captain America. Moonlight.
Yeah. Okay.
It just won the Golden Globe for Best Dramatic Feature.
Yeah.
And this is a big one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that too, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of, to be honest, 2016 is notorious for having a lot of films and a lot of great films and a lot of bad films, but there's a lot that kind of just went under my radar, and to be honest, that was one of them. I heard great things, but I just didn't muster up the courage to go see it.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there's still time. It's still out there.
There is, but we're doing the list today.
That's true. Very good. Good point.
And then for me, La La Land.
Oh.
It out of any other film that I haven't seen, that just breaks my heart because Damien Chazelle, I love him as a director.
Yeah.
He's
Whiplash.
He's quickly becoming, and he's on my list this year. And I don't want to spoil anything right now, but in a way, he kind of sneaked in there. But he's quickly becoming one of those directors that just by hearing his name, I would just see anything that he produces. Directors like Quentin Tarantino does that for me. I don't have to know anything about the film. Just the fact that he's associated with it, I'm there.
Nice. Well, it's a fun film. It's a feel-good movie. That's what I tell people. And
it's won so many Golden Globes.
I think it might have beat a record. It won I think 7 Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Including Best Comedy or Musical.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun movie, and it's got great performances.
It looks like it. I can't wait. I am dying to go see it.
It's a perfect date movie.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good.
Check it out. And the soundtrack is really amazing.
I heard. Anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple more.
Let's just rattle them off.
Yeah. All right. It's getting a lot of acclaim. Hidden Figures.
Right.
Story of a group of black women who shatter the glass ceiling and racial bias by working in NASA to bring a man to outer space. It's a really emotional story, and I hear it's one of the best of the year. So that'll probably be the next movie I go out to see.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, that's one of those that kind of fell underneath my radar.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm not dying to go see it. I love the cast,
Mm-hmm.
and I would see it for the cast.
Yeah.
But, if you're gonna tell me to choose that and La La Land, I would go see La La Land in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Plus, it's got an original score by Hans Zimmer. But Hans Zimmer's doing everything these
days.
Yeah, the Hans. He's great. He's a German man, and he's a really talented guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just quickly from me, Swiss Army Man. We've been saying that we wanted to catch that for a while.
Yeah.
It's so zany and unique in storyline, but I just didn't get a chance to see it.
We'll see it on Blu-ray.
Yep. And I think Rules Don't Apply. That's another one with Warren Beatty.
That is actually on my top 10 list of best movies of the year.
I was dying to go see. I had a chance, and it just the screener crapped out on me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No, check it out. It's not a deep movie. It's just a fun little character study. It's about Howard Hughes.
Yep.
Beatty plays Hughes brilliantly, better than Leonardo DiCaprio in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But I won't spoil anything
Aviator,
else.
right?
What?
Yeah,
Aviator. Yeah.
Yep.
Aviator.
Yeah.
But yeah, go see it. Rules Don't Apply.
Yeah.
Definitely, it fell under everyone's radar this year. I think.
I think marketing had a lot to do with it. I just think it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But to each its own. We have to go just see these. We have to redeem ourselves.
I know. I hold my head down in shame.
So should we go into?
Well, I had.
You had another one.
I had.
Yeah. So many shames.
I had two more big ones.
Okay.
One of it, which stars Dev Patel. It's called Lion.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I've heard great things from critics all over. But I really haven't had the chance to go see it yet.
Yeah.
That's more of a Blu-ray Netflix, I think.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's creeping up to this cycle.
And also the new Scorsese film, Silence.
Yes.
Which,
ooh,
just from the trailers alone.
I think we're on the same page for a lot of these shameless contenders.
Yeah.
So that's good. So it kind of levels the playing ground.
Indeed, it does.
For both of us.
Yeah. So we're gonna eventually get to see those movies, and for those out there who have seen them already, we
salute you.
We salute you, and we hold our head down in shame.
Yes.
So now we get to the fun portion.
Yes.
The more fun portion.
Yes.
The top 10 best movies.
The best, the creme de la creme of.
Not necessarily the best, but our favorite.
I'm glad that you put that.
Yeah.
Out there because film is so subjective, right? It's so personal to each and every person. And what makes a good film good does not necessarily mean that it's going to be great for the next person. But what we could offer you, the listener, is just some value, some input, so that you can properly assess what we're saying, and so that you can go out there and review it. Yes, right. So, I have let's say that this is a quick question, although it's a very meaty question. When you have a rubric in your head for a top movie contender of the year.
Wow.
Or making this list, this top 10 list, what does it for you? What is your criteria that goes through in your head?
Well,
I've been thinking about this question a lot.
I mean, you can go two routes. You can take the entire film as a whole.
Right.
And each component is a piece of the puzzle that puts this beautiful mosaic together.
Right.
That's one way. But there's another way of approaching this phenomenon. You have to pick apart one specific detail from the movie and just really explore the deepness and the nuances of this one part of the film. And that one part can light the way and be so magical. This is what it's all about. That's why we're speaking to you right now. This is movie magic we're talking about.
Right.
And the top 10 films of the year have to reflect that.
Right. That's a good point.
Thank you.
So part of it is that you're saying that they have to have a good scene sequence. They have to have some searing scenes.
Just one little component that'll just grab you, you know?
I think you could say that about any of our choices then, you know?
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I've been kind of contemplating that question a lot. And for me, I think for me, I'm kind of generalizing into craft and
Okay.
how well is it crafted. And it doesn't necessarily mean cinematography or direction. It could mean storyline. It could mean performances through acting. You know, whatever it is for you to actually connect with the film, that's what it's all about. So craft, emotion. How is that emotion conveyed? How does that hit you personally?
Right.
Is there familiarity that you can relate to? You know, that's very important to me. And a third is watchability, and that can go two ways. Either a film could be totally watchable, where you want to see it over and over and over again. You know, a lot of great comedic and action thrillers do that well.
Right.
And then there are films where you can't see it more than once. You know, you have to digest it for a long period of time.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because one film that's actually on my top 10 of all time, not just of this year, but this came out years ago. It's Rain Man.
Yeah.
And I can't watch that movie more than like maybe every 3 years.
Yeah, I could understand that.
You know, but it's so good.
Well,
it's amazing.
Yes, and that usually exists with very dramatic films.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like it's so heartbreaking that you don't want to revisit that heartbreak again. Like,
yeah.
You got to like give it some time to settle.
Yeah, I kind of associate with a lot of topical films like 12 Years a Slave or Clockwork Orange, or you know, like where like these are classic films and modern classics, but you know, it's just very heavy, deep content. You know, one film that I constantly go back to in this regards is Shame. You know, Steve McQueen again. He's just great at creating these gripping, emotional scenes, and it takes time.
Wait,
you know,
Shame.
Shame.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's about sex addiction in this guy and how he goes through with it and how he copes with it and how he's kind of separating his family, particularly his sister, when dealing with it. And I've only seen that film once in the theater. It was actually the only NC-17 movie I've ever seen in theater. And there are moments in that film that I vividly remember to this day. Cool. Just great. Yep.
I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yeah. Okay, so we've defined what makes a great film, a top 10 film. Let's go into it, Randy. Let's do this.
All right, so I'm going to count down from,
go for it.
number
Let's do
10.
number 10.
All right. I believe you saw this with, or you might have seen this with me. I don't know.
Okay.
The Dressmaker.
Yes.
We saw that together.
Yes. Yeah, we did. We reviewed it too.
Yeah. It was it was quirky, offbeat.
It definitely was quirky and offbeat. I could totally see how that cracked your top 10.
Yeah, it's right at the end there. You know,
it didn't quite make my top 10.
Yeah.
I think tonally it was just not there with me. It was very shifty, in my opinion, and I just didn't gravitate towards Kate Winslet's performances. Although she was phenomenal in it, she was great, but it just didn't connect with me.
I thought the woman who played her mother, Amy Davis, was even better. She was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
And the fact that it's kind of shifty that you mentioned, I think that was one of the film's saving graces. Like,
really?
The fact that it didn't really have a definable tone or genre.
Yeah.
It was drama, it was comedic, it was some thriller aspects. So that it kind of kept you on your toes,
Yeah.
It wasn't just a trip at the movies. It was really an experience, I think. And I felt like the characters really grabbed you.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
Good contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
You're number 10.
For me, it was actually Fences. Fences, yeah, it made my top 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just what's there to be said that hasn't already been said about Fences? It's just a great film with a phenomenal cast, with great performances from Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. Everyone did a great job. For me, the reason why it's on kind of the bottom of my list is that I'm very familiar with the source material.
Okay.
I've read the plays. I've seen the stage play. I've actually acted a little bit with this play too. In my college years, I took an acting class, and not to say that I was the best actor, but we had to do exercises, and I had to exercise with one of these. So I was familiar with the characters, and for me at least, the beginning of the film felt very on the page. It felt very rushed, and it felt like the performances by, let's say, Denzel Washington, it seemed like he was just talking in character a little too much. I felt like he wasn't developing his own pace for me, until the scene when he talks about the affair that he had, and they get into the affair. Not spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But the play's been around for a long time right now. To my credit, that's those nuances that aren't quite in the actual play because the play is very lean. I felt like that's when the movie kind of breathes and Denzel Washington gets to chew his own scenery a little bit.
Yeah, it took him a while to get into character, to really become this force that you really, whoa, this guy's scary.
Yeah.
Like, he's really, angry.
He's loud, he's angry.
Abusive.
He's a little obnoxious,
But you know what?
He's a smart ass.
He's kind of likable in some parts.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, he gives great advice, and I think that's a testament to his son and the fact that he grew up learning from his father.
Right.
But for me, I think Denzel Washington has played that character before in other movies, a smart-ass, loud type of character. Abrasive, like, in a way, he was kind of like I just rewatched Flight again.
I saw He Got Game for the first time.
He Got Game,
on Netflix.
Yep, exactly.
It's very similar father-son dynamic.
And the fact that those films are more original and allows him to kind of breathe into character a little bit more, I find they're a better performance from him otherwise.
Yeah.
But I totally understand the praise that this film is getting, as it should. But that's just the reason why it's, none.
Now, I mean, I agree with parts of what you're saying about Denzel's performance, but he totally grabbed me.
Like,
I thought he was insanely good in this.
He was.
He's just a great actor in general. You put any script in front of him, he'll turn it into gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the same can be said about Viola Davis.
Oh, I think she stole the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her performances just shine bright, and
they were perfect together. They were just
it was
neck and
that's neck. Probably the number one takeaway of the film: the chemistry between Denzel Washington and Viola Davis, and that's a testament on Denzel Washington because he directed the film.
Yeah, he directed
which was
himself.
A surprise to me. And at the very end of the credits, I was like, "Wow!"
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know
that's
going in. Yeah, so it was great. It was a great time. Great.
And despite the movies on my shame list, Fences is my number one.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah,
Okay, good.
It was. I just loved it so much. Denzel
rightfully
won
so.
me over. Like I said before about that one component that just wins you over.
Yeah.
Denzel's performance, and Viola's is a close second.
Yeah.
But Denzel was like.
Well, I totally understand that. Yeah.
He got into my soul.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Yeah, I could see that. I just, I maybe it was my fault because I reread the play right before watching the movie. It's a very thin play, and I just breezed through it before watching it. So I was kind of in that mindset, and I remember in the beginning part, I was like, "Wow, this is like exactly how it is on the play." He's not giving any, breathing room to his character, but. Totally get it. It's still great performances. I mean, those scenes, the like it, I don't need to like you.
I don't need to like you.
Yeah.
I gave you life.
Yeah, exactly.
So great. Just from the trailer,
just fantastic.
Nice.
All right.
Number 9. Still got a bunch to go. Number 9 on my list. We also saw this together.
Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea.
Whoa! See, this is like a reversal.
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah, it is.
By the way, this is the first time we have learned of each other's top 10s.
Yes, it's a big surprise to the both of us.
Right. Casey Affleck, he just won the Golden Globe for Best Dramatic Actor. I thought he was very good. Honestly, I think Denzel should have won, but that's my opinion.
No, I do not.
But I know you really liked Casey's performance.
Yeah, I think he was well deserved. I love this movie. I love it so much. I don't know if you saw me during the screening, but I was crying.
Were you?
I was. It was a cry that gets you deep within, and
I can't remember a scene that made me want to feel that.
You know, the thing with this movie is that it's not showy. It's not something.
It's subtle.
It's very
realistic.
subtle, and it's not like Fences. Fences, I think, is very showy. It's very boisterous in that regards. Whereas the trauma that these characters go through is so self-pitying. Casey Affleck tortures himself because no one else will do that for him. So his life is damning himself into this rut, into this ball of festering torment and sadness. And for me, oh my God, the ending, not to give any spoilers, but for that character to even smile,
right,
it says a lot. It says a lot, and there's a lot of little scenes in this movie that just make it such a grand movie.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked before about how a movie is comprised of these big scenes, but this movie is comprised of very small scenes that have tremendous amount of punch. Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams can do no wrong in my opinion. You know, it reminded me of her performance a lot from Blue Valentine.
Oh, there's something Brokeback Mountain.
No, that too. But for me, actors are well acted when they act between the lines. You know, it's their facial expressions, it's their pauses, it's what they do with the silence that really makes them a phenomenal actor. And Michelle Williams does that exquisitely. And there's a ton of those small moments in this film that makes it my number one. This is my number one.
All
so
right.
we did your number one off the bat. We did my number one off the bat. It's just a phenomenal film.
It is good, and
I totally understand why someone wouldn't think it's the number one film. I think it does demand repetitive viewing.
Yeah, I only saw it once, and I wasn't thrilled.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I respected the movie, the style.
Yeah, I just think, man, the torment that these characters have to go through, given the family that they have, you know, who in their right mind or life can go through what they've been through, and for an actor to actually give a performance that can give us some insight into what they could do or feel in that situation, it's just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. A lot of people do say it's depressing.
It is.
It is. It's sober. It's a sobering.
It grabs you. It shakes you.
Yeah, and it's about this guy who really does torture himself.
Yeah, he does. It's very Shakespearean. It's very. It's almost like it itself came from a play. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting. Well.
All right.
Okay. After that.
I think I have to do my.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
My number 9 was your number 1. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Please go ahead.
Okay. My number 9 is a film that we watched together.
Okay.
Randy. It is Green Room.
Oh wow, Green Room. Haven't heard of that since the summer when we reviewed it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it is a very unique slice of cinema. You know, one of the great last performances by Elton Yelchin. Yelkin.
Yeah. He was so talented.
Yeah, and just a great performance by Patrick Stewart.
And
so
it's just subdued, but
subdued. Yeah, I wish
he was
more
right.
In there.
Exactly.
But again, you know, just a type of situation and environment that these characters have to be placed in is really traumatic, and the way that it was portrayed on screen really sunk with me. I don't think it blew me away once I first saw it, but once it kind of, you know, digested in my system for a while, I just realized how great it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I wasn't thrilled with it. I liked it. I thought it was tense. You know, and the thriller aspect was really, you know, strong. Yeah. But you know, it's not on my top 10. But it was a good movie, but not great in my opinion.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
I thought, you know, Patrick Stewart really I want to see a lot more of him.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
an awesome villain.
In general, he should be in a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah, not just
Off topic, but you ever watch Blunt Talk?
I've heard great things
Yeah,
about it. Yeah,
it's cool. It's
yeah,
good.
it's
It's
good.
very interesting.
I
It's
gotta
funny.
see it. Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along.
Moving right along. Let's do number 8.
Number 8.
Okay.
For me is the Ryan Reynolds superhero meta actioner Deadpool.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those films that I was scared to put on my top 10. I mean, I loved it.
It was great.
I loved it. And to be honest, with a top 10, sometimes, a lot of it is just subjective. A lot of these movies, I can switch around. I can
right.
mix it up a little bit.
Right.
And Deadpool didn't come in my top 10, but it's up there on my list.
I just love the visual style.
Oh, I would say it's one of the best comic book movies out there
Ever.
Yeah.
I'd say. And the action sequences were so creative.
Yep.
And the little jabs that just the whole screenplay was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of, if not Ryan Reynolds, it might have been his best performance ever to date.
Oh, sure. Great.
It walked that line of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think for me, that's my favorite
Marvel.
Yeah.
Favorite comic book.
Modern day comic book movie.
Yeah.
Within the Marvel universe.
If they could poke fun at themselves and just have a fun time and throw in some cool action scenes.
Yeah, too. I think this trend of R-rated comic book movies is very exciting. I think it's kind of the jolt that it kind of needs.
And it's all fueled by a good script, good direction, and good acting.
Yeah.
So those 3 components make for a really awesome comic book movie.
Yeah.
And that's why Deadpool's on my list.
No, good choice. Good choice. For me, my number, what are we up to? 8?
8.
Is Mr. Church. Mr. Church.
I don't even really know much about that.
Oh my god, it's great. It really shocked me. I didn't even know this film existed. And when I found out, I had to go see it because it stars Eddie Murphy.
Oh right,
Yes.
yeah. That really fell under the radar.
Yeah,
quick.
It really did. But I think it's one. And for me, talking about expectations and how that correlates to watchability and emotion of the film. I would love to see more of this Eddie Murphy. This performance, is one of his best performances.
Better than the Golden Child.
I love the Golden Child for other reasons.
Right.
But it's just completely dramatic on his part, and
that's great.
With a lot of comedians, there's this old adage that says that great comedians can also play great dramas.
Robin Williams.
Yep. But it's not necessarily the case, vice versa. Not great dramatic actors can do comedy well. There are a few. But I think Eddie Murphy, through this movie, can show, and we've seen it through Dreamgirl and things like that.
Right.
He really puts on a great dramatic performance. In this film, it's what got to me was the writing of this film. It's a very well written, crafted film. It was almost, and I think you might like it for this respect, since you're a big Tom Hanks fan. Forrest Gumpy.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's kind of.
He's not simple.
He's not simple, but it kind of meshes in that time frame.
Okay.
That
so
kind
like
of
the span
Vietnam,
of decades.
Yeah, span of decades.
Okay.
It kind of branches. I want to say 50s rural to maybe 80s. You don't really get a really good sense of the time frame, but it's kind of there, and just very well written and great performances, and it's just a great drama, and it took me for a loop.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I knew it was coming out soon, and then I kind of lost interest. And then it was like barely in theaters, I think.
Yeah, it was one of those.
It was like like in and out, like a total. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's out. It probably is out on Blu-ray now.
Yeah, it is. You gotta go see it.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
I loved him since the '80s.
Oh.
But from what I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Church.
Mr. Church, you gotta go see it, guys. If it fell underneath your radar.
Nice. And was anyone else in that notable?
I'm horrible with names. but go check it out. Just,
Okay.
just
I'm
see
gonna
the cast list.
definitely will.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So number 7 on my list is White Girl. It is an independent drama slash thriller about a young girl from a farm area who moves to Manhattan, actually Brooklyn, Manhattan, only to be bombarded with all the sins that are associated with youth. You've got
Sinful.
drugs, sex, and violence. That
Oh,
is my
wow.
number 7, White Girl.
You know what? Let's go back and let's put that on my shameless too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see it, and it's one of those films we kind of discussed that like you have to be in the mood for, and I haven't like mustered up to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, it's definitely a mooder.
Yeah.
One of those. And it's on Netflix
Yep.
Right now, I believe. So check it out.
Good one. I'm really looking forward to
it's
it.
just so gritty and real.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've ever seen the independent film from 95 called Kids. It's basically like that.
Oh,
style.
really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
very similar.
Oh, that makes me want to watch it even more.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 7
Yes.
is I'm Not a Serial Killer.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, really, yeah.
So Chris and I actually went to a screening of that film
Mhm.
at the IFC Center a couple months ago, and a certain actor was in attendance for a Q&A right after the screening, a Mr. Christopher Lloyd, and he was Great Scott, Marty! He was actually in the film. He had a supporting role, and it was a very dark and offbeat film.
Oh my god, it was so original.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about it was original. The visual effects, the storyline, the performances, something that really harks an older performance from Christopher Lloyd. It reminded me a little bit of Who Framed Roger Rabbit a
Really?
little bit in his performance in that.
Interesting.
It was what made it really interesting was the fact that in his interview he kind of spoke about the love story and the humanity that's involved in being this this creature, if you will, without giving it a lot away. And you can by knowing that you can either see this as a multitude of stories. You could see this as a horror film. You could see this as a romance film. You could see this as a sci-fi film. I mean, ultimately, it's coined as a horror film, but just because it's so versatile and so unique, one of the most unique films I've seen this year. It was just phenomenal, and that's why it's on my top 10.
And it's about a teenager who actually helps his mom out at her job,
Oh my God.
which is kind of an unorthodox occupation.
The first scene of that, talking about scenes that sear into your brain, that first scene with
Draining the blood.
Drain the blood and the amaldehyde, I think you call it.
Formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde.
Yeah. It's a very weird
going
scene.
into your veins. Oh God, it just got under my skin and
literally.
Yeah, literally.
That's wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised that made your top 10. That's it's a pretty dark film.
It is.
Weird film.
It's very weird, but I respect the originality. You got to respect original films like that.
Oh, and I just remembered, the kid in that movie was actually in a 2011 comedy film called The Sitter with Jonah Hill.
Funny.
Yeah, really funny. It was basically an updated, raunchier version of Adventures in Babysitting.
Yep.
And the star of I Am Not a Serial Killer was one of the kids that he was watching.
Okay.
Good actor, actually.
Good actor. Very good.
Yeah, he's maturing, I'd say.
Yeah.
To a fine young actor.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he kind of teeters on this sociopath / teenager who's coming of age and he's trying to, come to terms with everything, and the fact that he kind of lives and works in this morgue doesn't make things any helpful at all. And it's a very unique. I mean, everything about this film is unique, and it's definitely one of those films that it'll be hard to watch more than once. But I think anyone could at least respect it. Who's willing to give it a try, and that's the key thing. You got to be willing to see this movie from beginning to end. You'll know from the first scene and the last scene. I think it kind of bookends itself, but
And the awkwardness that
Right.
the main character, this kid, is faces, like he's so troubled.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what his identity is, what he wants to be. It
Right.
kind of reminded me a little bit of Charlie Brewster, the character in Fright Night.
Okay. Okay.
Who, and he witnessed a vampire killing
Right.
a woman.
Right.
It had that kind of
He kind of has
formula.
that lust for it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see that.
Yeah. All right. All right. Moving ahead.
Moving ahead. So my number 6 is actually, we mentioned it previously tonight. Rules Don't Apply. And yeah.
I wish I could have some
Me too.
some backbone to
Maybe
it,
we could review it in the future.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like
for films that make the top 10 and kind of go under people's radar, I think it's worth to give them a second chance and review them a second time later on, because that's where the publicity lies.
Yeah. And this film had great performances. It didn't really take itself seriously. It's nice to see Warren Beatty in a role where he doesn't really care much about others except himself. I didn't think he was still working, but apparently he's not retired yet.
Yeah, with the things that I have heard, I haven't heard much press of the film itself.
Yeah.
But
kind
a lot
of fell under there.
The stories that I did hear were, oh, what happened to Warren Beatty? Why is he back? I thought he was retired.
Right.
And to his credit, he's been trying to make this movie for a long time.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, it was like a passion project that people just didn't buy into. Yeah. And according to him, he kind of declined a lot of films. Okay. He was actually, did you know this? Here's a little trivia. He was up to play Bill in Kill Bill.
I think I did hear that.
Yeah, he was.
That would have been crazy.
He was Tarantino's first choice as Bill.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, it'd been pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a prequel.
Yeah, maybe. Or, well, he's still trying to do the third one, right? Maybe he could do flashbacks of Bill as Warren Beatty.
Maybe. I don't know, but it was so iconic. The actor from Kung Fu.
Yeah.
What's his name? Carradine.
David Carradine.
Yeah, he was pretty iconic.
Oh, he was great. Bill. I think they gave it to the right person.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
All right.
Moving ahead.
Yes. What about on your number 6?
Yes.
Mr. Clemente.
Number 6. My number 6 is The Nice Guys.
Oh, I knew it.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah, I knew that.
Had to make my list.
Okay.
It's probably one of the more blockbustery films that are on my list. On my top 10. Overall, it was just a great time. It was just a nice, funny, somewhat complicated. Those kind of films I have to those procedural, even though it's a comedy, I kind of have to watch once or twice.
Yeah.
And I think I actually watched this more than that. But with every viewing, I kind of got more and more out of it. Yeah.
Funny.
I love Ryan Gosling.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Yeah. Great physical comedian.
Yeah.
Comedic actor.
Is the first role I've seen him do that I was like, wow, this guy's talented. He's funny. Like, he's legitimately funny. He's not just an action hero or romantic comedy
I would say for me it was Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's when I got the essence of, wow, he's really funny. But this kind of brought it to a whole different level.
And if you like that, you're gonna love La La Land even more.
Yeah, exactly.
He's even funnier.
I'm glad that he made my list one way or the other.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah. No, but The Nice Guys, also directed by Shane Black, written and directed.
Yeah.
Who did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
Yeah.
Which is a similar type of film in terms of style and formula.
Right. Right.
Kind of
wrote the Lethal Weapon films, right?
True, and other action thrillers.
And Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah, he did a lot, yeah.
It's good.
All revolving around Christmas.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shane Black.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
How about you?
Number 5. Not sure if you've seen this one. It's got a lot of acclaim, and this has fallen under the radar, but 20th Century Women.
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Okay, good. yeah, you got Annette Bening, insanely good as this hippie mom who's trying to safeguard her son from all the sins of youth again. This is the 70s, and there's drugs, there's disco, there's,
wow. Just a hodgepodge of everything.
Yeah, and Annette Bening plays this middle-aged mom who's just trying to make sure her son doesn't fall into the same traps that she fell in. Just making bad decisions. But at the same time, she has this house full of people living there, kind of like, they pay to stay there, squatters, I guess. And she's got Billy Crudup, who plays this hippie artist. He's like a sculptor. And then you've got Greta Gerwig, who plays this another. She's a hippie / punk rocker who exposes the son to all this great music of the time period, and it's just about the relationships. It revolves around the boy,
right?
But Annette Bening steals the show, in my opinion.
Wow,
it's a great movie.
Wow,
and
it's sold it for me. Yeah.
Kind of like Manchester by the Sea, just like a real sobering look at like a dysfunctional family. Not even dysfunctional, a family that's just trying to get by, just trying to move forward with all this crap that's surrounding them,
So this is your Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. It won me over, and I don't know. I don't know if Annette Bening. I think she was nominated, but I don't think she won for this. But I hope she gets nominated for an Oscar.
You know what? I think you sold this.
Yeah,
I remember you talking about this before, and you were saying you guys see this. I think
I saw it twice.
Wow, I think this is going to be the next movie I see.
See it? Yeah. This will be your Hidden Figures.
Yes. Not so hidden anymore.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But a really good movie, 20th Century Women.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along.
Yeah.
Number 5 now? Are we already at 5?
I think it was the halfway mark, guys.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're getting there, guys. To me, I mean, with my list, this is creeping up to the absolute best of the year for me,
here we go.
Which means it's, for me, the top, the bottom 5, I should say, could be rearranged in any order. But as we get close to the number 3 spots, I would say those are actually, the contenders,
right.
the stakes,
the creme
if you
de
will.
la creme.
Yeah, that I would say it can't get better than this. But for number 5, a phenomenal film. I'm not sure if you've seen this, Randy. King Cobra.
No, I have not.
Oh, it's not for everyone. It's very topical. It deals with stardom in the gay porn industry.
Oh.
Right? And it's something that I would not have
kind of
thought.
like Boogie Nights-ish?
Yes, but it has to do with murder.
Okay.
And it has to do with backstabbing and a lot of great performances by Kristen Slater.
I love her. Yeah.
Who else? James Franco does a great job, and a whole mess of other people that I'm forgetting. But just the way that they take this real story, this true story, and portray on the screen is very nail-biting in a way that, just because it's so topical, and yes, it kind of makes you a little bit uncomfortable of what you see in the gay porn industry, it also goes the absolute opposite way and handles murder and procedural in a way that makes it less glamorous and more really, really heart-stopping and really, really thrilling. So you
got nail-biting, heart-stopping.
Yeah, everything.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just it's a great fun. It took me by surprise. It really did. And it's a really great watch. Again, if you can stomach it, because it goes to opposite ends that a lot of people might not feel comfortable with. But if you do stomach it, I hope you take what I took out of it, which was it's a very versatile film that talks about the glamorization, but also talks about violence and the procedural. I think it goes really dark really fast, and for that, I think it becomes 2 films in one.
Wow. Well, yeah. I think you won me over with that.
Yeah. Check it out.
Pretty cool.
Check it out.
Sounds gritty, huh?
It's very gritty in a very glamorized way. It's hard to put a thumb to it, but I think that's what makes it a good film.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So my number 4 has been discussed already,
Mm-hmm.
and is the much loved La La Land.
Yes.
Now, okay, I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's a good movie. It's not great. It's fun.
Number 4 though.
What? Yeah, but I really couldn't think of anything else to
Yeah.
put in that. I respect the fact that it's like a throwback to old style Hollywood musicals.
Yeah.
That's what I loved, and it's just fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
It's just a wholesome, fun ride,
Oh,
and the soundtrack is really great.
I
It's catchy.
can't wait to see it. Can't wait to
Yeah.
hear it. Yeah, I hear a lot of great things.
I know. I won't say anything any more about it.
Well, going in the musical route, my are we up to number 4 already?
Your 4.
My 4, my number 4 is Miles Ahead. Great film. It talks about, man, I'm having a brain fart.
That's with Cheadle, right? Don Cheadle?
Yes, Don. Thank you, Randy. Don Cheadle. Yes.
I'm the name guy. I know the names.
Yes. He plays the jazz musician Miles Davis. There you go. It's getting late, I guess. But Miles Davis, and it's a real story. It's a passion project for Don Cheadle, and he just plays his guts out. He gives it his all. The music is fantastic. I've heard that he learned how to play the trumpet to get into the role. So cool. Some not all of the bits with trumpet are Don Cheadle actually playing the trumpet, which is phenomenal. Miles Davis had an extensive drug and abusive problem, and it kind of goes into that. Just a phenomenal take of the biopic. It's not your typical biopic.
Okay.
It doesn't talk about his life from beginning to end, although there are some flashbacks. But what it does, it just takes a slice of time in his life, which is when he was kind of older, washed up. He was kind of in it with loan sharks, and he was kind of trying to scrap some cash together. And this one reporter tries to get that next story from him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. This is actually on my shame. Should be added to my shame list now.
Oh. I mean, it too was kind of those films that is under a lot of people's radar. It just didn't get the love, and it didn't get the marketing that it should. It was sort of in the beginning of the year. And I know that was kind of difficult for Cheadle to actually produce, but it is really worth watching.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One of my favorite biopics of all time, actually. I would say. Yeah. I think this might be topical, controversial.
Uh-oh.
This is what I do. I think it's a little bit better than Ray.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Ray was very exhausting for me.
Mm-hmm. What about Walk the Line?
I liked Walk the Line. It's on there. It's right up there. I think Walk the Line does a great job. Did a better job than Ray in kind of talking about the grander scope of someone's life, whereas Miles Ahead is kind of different because it's a slice of life.
Okay.
But it's definitely something to check out.
I will. Sounds great.
Top 3 now, huh?
Top 3.
Top
oh my
3.
God. Well, I believe we spoke about this earlier. Hacksaw Ridge.
I wish I saw it. It's on
Another
my
one.
list.
Okay, yeah. It's on,
yeah, but talk about it. Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's a World War II film starring Andrew Garfield as a young soldier who's a conscientious objector, and he is basically against violence. He goes to battle without even carrying a gun, and even without a gun, he manages to save the lives of like 40 men at Hacksaw Ridge, I believe. I forget where, but yeah, it was just a really bad battle. And
I saw the trailer and some clips. Yeah,
he emerged victorious without firing a single shot, without even carrying a gun.
Wow.
And like I said, it was the best World War II film since Saving Private Ryan.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe from what I've seen that it could match up to all the hype that it's getting. Yeah.
And it's a shame though that it was directed by a racist. And you got Mel Gibson like churning out one of the best movies of the year in my opinion. And
Well.
and the trailers don't even like really acknowledge his. They acknowledge him, but they don't mention a film by Mel Gibson. They say from the director of Braveheart and Passion of the Christ. They don't mention his name directly.
You're doing a Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But having said that, it's really well directed, and I hope he gets nominated for an Oscar because he deserves a nomination.
You know, sometimes you got to separate the artist from the actual film or the actual art, right?
Right, exactly.
You could say a lot about Woody Allen, and you could say a lot about other actors. So
true.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that one.
See it on the big screen too.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for actually.
Nice. Is it? I don't know if it's still in theaters.
I think it's in some selected theaters.
Check it out. Yeah, definitely.
I will project it on a huge wall.
Yeah, good. And I hope I'm there when you show that
I'll let
screening.
you know.
Nice.
Okay, so my third film, and I told you that Damien Chazelle was going to be on here somehow. It is 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, okay.
That's my number 3. I love this film.
Nice.
It caught me by surprise. I'm not the biggest horror fan, and I wasn't the biggest Cloverfield fan. I respect it tremendously, but it didn't connect with me as some other people did. But what makes this film great is that although it's a sequel, it doesn't have to be a sequel. It's a standalone film.
Okay.
It talks about the aftermath and the paranoia about this one particular guy played by John Goodman, and how he was sort of right. He's a conspiracy theorist who, you know, is kind of a nut job and wants to have his in-ground bunker to live in, you know, just in case, you know, World War III happens. And guess what? It did. Just everyone didn't think it was going to be this monster, and during the actual film, no one knows exactly what it is because it's happening at the same time as the first film. But the horror element is actually dealing with this guy, John Goodman's character, and whether or not he's going to kill you or not, because he's kind of crazy.
Nice.
But it's not. I'm not a big fan of shock scares and jump scares, like a lot of the late 90s crazes.
Activity.
Yeah, even that too, yeah. But this has a little bit of that element, but really just gets you underneath your skin. And it is co-written by Damien Chazelle.
Nice.
Which it was a nice bonus.
Kind of a weird change of pace from La La Land.
Yeah, I kind of see it probably as someone saying, hey, could you, take a look at the script and see, could you give us some input? Because, I mean, to be honest, I could totally see how someone could watch Whiplash and seeing that, those big jump, scares even in Whiplash between student and mentor.
The intensity is really,
right, and the suspense in that, and how they kind of pulled that into something like this film. So
it's a sequel to Cloverfield.
Yeah, it's a sequel that kind of plays during the same time as the events as the first film.
Oh, okay.
So while this is happening, I forget where it takes place.
In New York.
New York.
Yep.
While it's taking place in the city, this is like a rural suburb, not too far from it. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder why it took them so long to get this made. Because Cloverfield was what, 2007, 8?
I think, has it been that long?
I think it was 08, early 2008.
Yeah.
So I hope it was worth the wait.
Oh, it definitely was.
Okay.
You gotta go see it. it.
I love the first Cloverfield was great.
Yeah.
Really imaginative, great visual style. The director really.
Oh, I totally respect it. Yeah.
That found footage genre is great.
Yeah.
Especially when it's done right.
Right.
And Cloverfield definitely was that. So, 10 Cloverfield Lane, good follow-up.
Gotta see it, yeah.
Sweet.
Number 2.
Ooh, it's exciting. So yeah, this is definitely one of the best movies of the year. And I'm not just saying that because critics all over the globe agree. Hell or High Water. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
You have seen it, okay.
Yes, I have seen it, and I love this film.
Yes.
Matter of fact, this is probably the only choice on our list that we match.
Yeah.
This is my number 2.
Wow.
Well. Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting.
Phenomenal. I saw this, and I had to see it again.
You saw it twice.
I saw it 3 times.
3 times?
3 times, yeah.
I might buy the Blu-ray.
Oh, it's definitely a Blu-ray buy.
Yeah.
It's a modern western, right? And just the performances.
There's nothing bad about it.
There's
nothing.
There's
no flaws.
There's no flaws. There's no fat. There's no fluff.
Yeah.
There's only fun and fantasy. It's just great. I mean, as far as Chris Pine goes, he actually has the worst movie on my list, and that I hated Star Trek.
Oh, really?
Hated it.
I heard that was the best of the series.
No, I heard that. I heard mixed reviews.
Okay.
To be honest, but for me, it was horrible. I had to the source material's defense. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan, and I actually veer towards Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm more Star Wars myself too.
But it was just a dull ride.
Yeah.
So for Chris Pine, that was the worst of the year. But this is not only the best of the year, but it's also, I think, his best performance. I don't think I've seen him play anything better than
Before this movie, I thought he was just this pretty boy.
Right.
You know, he's the next Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Pretty boy. He can't act. So then this movie comes along.
Right.
Wow, what a performance! And the way he bounced off of Ben Foster,
right,
who was even better,
right,
was great. It was just a great chemistry.
Ben Foster can do no wrong.
Yeah, he was amazing in this movie, and I hope he gets
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal casting all around.
I heard that this was like a role tailor made for Jeff Bridges.
Yeah,
like the crusty Westerner, lawman.
It's so good that we're just speechless.
Yeah,
that's
you're just like trying to think of a scene. It's like every moment, it's like a dusty adventure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and just there's so many twists and turns, especially towards the end. And
you know what? I'm just thinking now. It had some shades of like maybe Breaking Bad.
A little bit, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that style, that tone.
Yeah.
Of like that Western.
Yeah.
Thriller gone wrong.
Yeah, like definitely. I mean, it
flawed
just,
characters.
It was good. It was fantastic. I mean, thinking of it from a Western perspective, it did remind me of like the 3:10 to Yuma remake, which ironically did have
Russell Crowe,
Ben Foster in it.
Oh,
too.
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's
he
funny.
he was the villain in that one. But
right.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
Oh, I loved it.
Did
you? I loved it. Yeah. It was.
I don't remember loving it.
I remember. I remember the suspense and pace to be very familiar in.
This was so much better.
Oh, definitely, by far. One of the best movies, not of just the year, but of this decade so far. Yeah.
It really should win. I don't know. It's not going to win Best Picture at the Oscars, but
well, did it get any love at the Golden Globes?
Much. Not that
I'm surprised by that.
I mean, it was just nominated, but it didn't snag any awards. Unfortunately,
that's a shame.
Yeah,
that's a shame. But go see it, guys. Really.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
it's on Blu-ray right now. So.
Yeah. All right. Drum roll. Number one. And I think we mentioned the number ones. So.
Well, I forgot what
yours was. But just to reiterate.
Yeah.
Your number one, Randy?
It is the Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, dramatic adventure, Fences.
Yes, and mine was the Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, Manchester by the Sea.
Right.
Sort of two different films, subtle versus loud.
Right.
Soft versus boisterous, but nonetheless, definitely some of the greatest films out there today.
And I hope Denzel wins Best Actor, but I mean, the Golden Globes, it went to Casey.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to play.
Yeah. Well, that's not usually a
True,
solid
but,
indicator. I think the SWAT Awards is, right?
Sorry?
I think the Screen Actors Guild Awards is kind of on par with that.
More so, I guess.
But we'll see. Who else is up for Best Actor? Do you know?
Best Actor, I think Ryan Gosling won for comedic Golden Globe.
That would be great if it was Denzel. I could respect that if he wins. Yeah,
I love this performance so much.
Yeah,
he really
he
grabbed
me. No, he
me.
did. He was definitely playing the character of Troy. I don't see anyone who could have played it the way he did it. Yeah.
So
great choices,
great
man.
films, guys, and there's not just the ones that we mentioned as the top films, but also on our shame list.
Yep.
we got to go see those.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta do a follow-up one of these days.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Do redeem ourselves.
I like that.
Yeah,
The redemption episode.
The redemption episode, yes.
Very good.
All right.
So I guess that's all for now.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to plug anything?
Just visit me on the Movie Lovers podcast and films we watched.
Mm-hmm. And you can check out my work. Just go to youtube.com and just search for Unger the Radar.
Unger the Radar.
Yes. And just Google it as well, and you'll find another link to my written work.
Yes, yes.
All right.
On the interwebs.
Indeed, sir.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. A pleasure. Always,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes. Till next time.
Till next time. This is Randy Unger, and I'm with Unger the Radar. Thanks, guys.